Good evening.
Hello there.
How are you?
Best I've ever been. How are you?
Very good. So today's topic, I just wanted to boast a bit and show you the challenge solved, the challenge that Joe Lindstrom raised in the group, saying that he wanted to have a get started page that appears to the user. And once they've done with whatever they're getting started with, it disappears. But not only the page disappears, but the item from the navigation gone.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so you have an item, get started in the navigation, and once you've done it, it disappears. And Scott Duro suggested that perhaps permissions would be the way to go. So I decided it's a good challenge, and I could use it for a couple of clients of mine and implemented it. So
Sure. Gee, you know an awful lot of tricks. You're not a professional magician, are you?
No, not a magician.
Oh, my.
let me first show to you what is there. So I'm the user and I'm signing in into the application. Here's my application, and I signed in, and it's a safety induction. So you do it once and you're done. So here we're doing the induction how to wear mushk.
Mushk, I like it.
Mushk. And I'm signed in as Kate Johnson, who's just a user, right? And this is a custom page, so you can do whatever you want on it. And it's basically a small quiz. You're supposed to kind of pick the correct way to wear the mushk. So you can pick up, and it says, "Well, that's not right," and ask you to pick again. And that's not correct either, and that would be not correct either. And then you finally decide, well, probably that one is correct one. And it goes and say, thank you for completion, and we're done.
Nice.
Right? So you have to wait just a little bit, few seconds or so until it sorts itself out. And then I say, yeah, okay, I'll go on with my life like individuals, and I've got companies. This is just address book application. So then at some point I just go refresh. So I'm refreshing the browser window, and you see it's gone.
It's gone.
The getting started item is gone.
Okay. I like it.
Okay, let's talk about how we've done it, right?
Yeah. So I guess the question is how and how. And how?
Okay, so we've got solution. Let's drill down. So there are a few moving parts. Actually, I'm surprised like how many moving parts is there to do that. They're all small parts, so there's nothing dramatic, super dramatic there, right? So let's go ahead and start with the application itself. It's a page. So we've got model-driven app, right?
Yeah.
And if I go and edit model-driven app in preview, that's just this app. There's nothing specific. The nodes, I can navigate here, so I can do navigation. I can build out and select views that I want. And this is just a page. This one is just a page that I'm displaying. Okay. So there's nothing there in the model-driven app. There's nothing kind of artificial. Then there is a page itself. So that's a custom page, which is Canvas. Again, there is nothing super difficult about this. The most difficult part was actually drawing the instructions.
Attention to detail. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So we have just images, and just basically when user clicks on that, we setting up incorrect answers, for example, just very, very straightforward. That's not probably the best way to do it. You can do it much better. You can involve Dataverse if you want to, record users' answers if you want to.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you. It doesn't need to be safety induction. Could be company manual, could be KPI, could be something that you do, I don't know, on a monthly basis. And you'll see how you can bring user back into not completing this induction.
Yeah, without having to, you would have to recreate everything. You can just update the custom page and everything will come through.
You don't even need to update the custom page. It's just a setting. It's user belonging to, jumping ahead, user belongs to a team called Getting Started. And
in terms of the contents on a custom page, I can just come in and change this as a citizen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can do whatever you like. The point is that when pick up the correct answer, what we do, here's our secret. We notify it is correct, and we pick up who the current user is. So we find the current user. We find the team called Getting Started. So we have a team, and then we remove user from that team. We cannot do it here in the app. First, I did it in the app and it all worked fine until user runs it, and the program goes kaboom. You can't remove yourself because you don't have permissions to remove yourself from the team, right? Normal user don't. Sysadmin, yes. Maker, totally. User, not so much. So we run a Power Automate flow that does the job. And in Power Automate flow, we can run on behalf of, so we can run and use connections that we created earlier, like I use service principal connection.
Nice.
And we navigate to another screen, to the final screen. So we use a second screen, which is just basically says, thank you.
Good work.
And on top of that, if user somehow gets to the app without after completing, then somehow get hold of URL of the app, because shortcut is not there, but user still has access to the app. So if they decide to go to the app, we're saying, hey, look, are they member of the team? So again, so we get the team, get the users, and we search for the user within the team. And if it's not found, then we go and navigate straight to the second screen.
Got it. So if they don't need to do the induction, they'll always land on the right page.
Even if they have a shortcut to the application, they will see this screen and saying, thank you very much, you're already done. Right, that's it.
Awesome.
Okay, so now that kind of sounds easy. Now how we add remove users. So that's let's go back to our solution. So here's our flow. Let's take a look at the flow. So we're done with that. Take a look at the flow. Finally, the new tab is working.
Yay!
Can you believe it? Yay! So we've got just invoke Power Apps, and we pass team ID and user ID. These are good. Nothing magical. We get user. We need OData reference. So we get the user using ID. And then all we do is unrelated rows, basically remove user from the team.
Nice.
Okay, and we send it back.
Yeah.
And that just gives us enough, this gives a couple seconds, enough delay for user to see, yes, you're good, and then navigate to another screen. So we don't have to introduce any artificial delays or anything like that. So that's flow, very straightforward. Now, the trickiest bit is where we get with security roles and permissions. So
like what's the team got to do with all of this?
Yeah, we've got table. What is this Getting Started team? So what we have is we have a security role. Security role, Getting Started. All this security role does is gives us access to the table, and you see read access to Getting Started.
Got you.
Nothing else, just as simple as that. And we have this table, Getting Started, serves no purpose just to be able to peg permissions on it.
Yeah, okay.
Say someone has permissions on it. And then we have a team called Getting Started, and you see users are members. Actually, if I refresh that, see Cave is not there. So we can say, hey, look, let's bring Cave back. Everyone is member of this team.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then you've applied the security role to the team?
Correct. So if I go to settings and if I go to the user permissions teams, and I have this Getting Started team, I go to manage security role. All this team has is Get Started
Cool. Makes
security
sense.
role, right? So any member of that team will get a permission to read from this Getting Started table.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to solution and let's go to the sitemap. This is where it gets really kind of interesting. If I go to a node that is standard entity table.
Rather than a custom page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I can do, I can go to advanced. No, sorry, not custom page. This is just a table.
Yeah.
Contact table. I can go to privileges and I say, hey, look, I want to add privileges. And this is where I use Getting Started. And I want to use read. So that means what I just described means that these individuals or contacts item or navigation sub area will appear only for those users who's got read permissions on the Getting Started table.
Okay, so you can show and hide menu items based on these additional permissions. So even if I've got read access to contacts,
yeah,
it might not show because you've applied these.
Correct.
I never knew these existed till like 3 months ago. Mind blown. Anyway.
It's fine. Now, of course, there are certain UI elements falling behind. That's probably the most difficult part. When you go to Get Started, which is custom page, it says, uh-oh, I have no clue what to do with it. The good news is that you can still use what we used to do years ago, probably before you were even born, XML editor. You just edit ribbon XML.
Yeah.
Right? And good news is permissions can be totally applied to the node, as Scott Duro suggested. They can totally apply to the custom page.
So they kind of work, but they just haven't built the interface yet to make it work.
So what you need to do is to export solution, which I already done. So you just go ahead and you say, go back to the list of solutions and you select your solution and you export it. I already done that. So what I did, I drilled down into the zip archive, you download the archive, depends on your system. I use add-on for Visual Studio Code that allows me to edit files directly inside the archive. You can extract XML file, edit it, then put it back into archive, whatever you use. There are tools that allows you to, you either extract, edit, put it back, or edit directly in. Once you're inside customizations XML, you find a node. You just, first of all, you search for sitemap. That takes you to the sitemap. So here we are, there's a sitemap, right? And inside the sitemap, you need to find one that says, let me scroll to the right. You see this page?
Okay, yeah.
That's our page. And would have title. And the only thing I did, I added this line.
Got you.
Privilege on the table or entity, Getting Started, and privilege read. So what it says that this sub area, which is what we want, will appear only for those people who've got read permissions for the Getting Started. Okay, so long story short, if user is a member of the Getting Started team, they have this permission, they see this entry. they see sub area.
The sub area is the item on the menu, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once they removed from the team, takes few seconds, they stop seeing that. It disappears. The item disappears. It's hidden.
Nice.
So basically, if I refresh right now, it should bring it back. I think I did put, yes, Cave, I did put him back. So now he's going to induction again, but now Cave is smart. So he says, haha, I totally know. Hold on. Come on. I totally know to go. No, hold on. This one.
Yes, that one. Perfect.
That one. Perfect.
Oh,
no.
okay. Oh.
So he goes here, this one. The flow runs, navigates to the second screen. Cave is removed from the team. So we can go and validate the team getting started. Cave is no longer there.
Nice.
And when Cave refreshes, oh, remember I told you if they refresh and they still stuck on the app, so the node will disappear, but they still open the app because navigation, browser remembers navigation. It does the check, says, hey, look, you're already done. You're not member of the team. Straight to second. But once they navigate away, that's it. They actually getting started gone. Next month, you want to run something else, you add them back to the team. You can have multiple teams and sort of multiple one-off pages if you want to run something. I think that was you who suggested weekly reminder to fill in the timesheets.
Yeah, like you could even do something smart where it goes and checks, have you submitted your timesheet? If not on Friday morning, add you to the team. Show me.
Yeah, but why do you even do that? Why not to display a page that actually timesheet entry for the week? Once they're done and say, I'm done. Yes,
because then you can put it on the page and then it's just there.
It's just there. Once they're done, it disappears. It's you don't no longer have to do it. So you can do all sort of things, but obviously the implementation, like getting started, the idea is remove items. Once they've done, we can remove items using permissions. And it could be a custom page, could be a navigation item. I mean, classic navigation item like a table or something like this. Like for timesheet, it will totally make sense to even open individual record. Timesheet for the week, or if it's a table, open a view inside the table, timesheet entries. And once you've done and say, I'm done, you can have a flow that gets triggered by the timesheet entries. And once the total reaches, say, 40 hours, done.
That's magic.
If it hasn't reached 40 hours, sit your down and keep working until you reach 40 hours. Okay.
I quite like as well, you explained to me how I was like, why would you need to do this for users? And then because I live in a small world of like 100 users, but you've got 5,000 plus users. And I'd love to put on here to tell everyone to go to their personalization settings and change the number of records per view to 250. Changes your life. It's something I end up doing, but things like that would be amazing.
Guess what? You can write a totally Canvas app that does that, because user settings, it's just a table.
Ooh.
They can do it themselves. You can just
so you can put that in the page.
Not the table, not the dialog itself, but you can put setting itself and update settings using Canvas. Totally.
So you could put them in the custom page that shows up at the start.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Oh, so we found something that you can actually use.
Yeah, that's actually genuinely useful. I like it.
Go through the personal settings.
And just show them it rather than saying, go here, go here, go here. Just give them the personal settings and say, sort your thing out. I recommend you do this.
Personal settings, like the dialog itself, is intimidating. So instead of walking them through the dialog, you would display a subset, only those you care about. Like if it's multilingual, please select your language. Please select your currency. Oh, yes, and the page size for the...
And put recommendations on.
Yeah. Recommended stuff and so on. So definitely you can do that. Because it's a user, I think, table called user settings, believe it or not.
But there is an XRM Toolbox tool that can do it.
Yeah, for 5,000. Yeah, well, I suppose you can do that. Or you can ask them, because don't you dare touch my settings. Amy
Yeah,
Holman.
I have made that
Yeah.
mistake before. I changed someone's default dashboard. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
Okay. They're no longer client.
Still are a client, but they did have a meltdown.
Oh, we should have a session about client meltdown separate. Okay,
Oh.
so here we go. Suggested by Joe, solved by Scott, implemented by me, validated by you.
Validated. Amy approves. Boop.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much.
Bye.
Until next time.
Il mio call. Don't forget ta 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 ta. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. Please, let's come back.